I vividly remember that moment when I was standing there in the center of the dais in Kamraj Memorial Hall about 5 years ago, desperately wishing that the earth would open and swallow me up. It was the single most embarrassing moment of my life. It was a function where my guru, Ra, formerly known as T.T. Rangarajan, founder of Alma Mater, editor of Frozen Thoughts, he was speaking there, and the hall was overflowing. I was sitting in one of those front rows with my parents. Out of the blue, he just called out my name and he said, now Lata would come up and share a few experiences. Now, even as a child, when the teacher would ask a question, I would immediately look down and search for something on the floor so that she doesn't look at my face and call my name. I was petrified of speaking, let alone public speaking. So I just had a mini heart attack there. Nevertheless, I got up and went up the dais and shivering and trembling, I managed a couple of sentences. And then I just blanked out. Not a single word came from my mouth. I just couldn't speak. I was just rooted to the spot. The entire hall was in an awkward silence. In what seemed like eternity. Luckily for me, my guru, who was just standing beside me, he intervened and he said, it's okay, Lata, just continue. It happens. Somewhere I just managed to blabber a few sentences and went and sat back in the front row. Now when you perform well, few people come and congratulate you. But when you don't do all right, almost the whole world will come and ask you, what happened today? I just ran home without seeing anybody. I went straight home, went to my room, locked myself inside and wept the whole night. I said, never again will I go up the dais to speak. A week went by, and then I was given an opportunity to deliver a series of lectures in a school. They were willing to train me on that. Now, this was once again a project called Subject Plus, conducted by Alma Mater. So I first hesitated. I said, no, this is not for me. Then I thought, why should I give up without even trying? I haven't even tried it before, so why should I accept defeat? So very hesitantly, I enrolled myself for the project. And ever since, I have been speaking my way to glory. Now, what better example can I give you as an icon of courage than Savitri? Aurobindo's classic, Savitri, is 24,000 lines of English poetry. Unlike Savitri of the Mahabharata, where Savitri begs with Yama, the Lord of Death, to give back her husband Satyavan, Aurobindo's Savitri does not beg with Yama. She simply grows in her inner strength and commands Yama to give back her husband, reflectively thinking within herself. There is a kind of an internal war going on between her lower self and her higher self. Her lower self says, right from the beginning, man has been designed to be a slave. It is foolish to think that his intelligence can give him freedom. The higher self mocks at the feeble mind and says, have you gotten so entangled with your worries that you have forgotten the very purpose of your life? Agreed, you are surrounded by darkness, but there is light within you. You have been created to transcend even death. Savitri is aware of her higher self and abides by it, she still feels and emotes and feels those disturbances which a normal human being goes through. So the two levels coexist. The moment arrives when death takes over Satyavan's spirit, the scene depicting Savitri's triumph over death. Now, when the yama within us, or the negative emotions within us, are cultivated to such an extent that it grows into ugly proportions, it completely envelops that original potential within. On the contrary, when Savitri within us, that positive, like courage, like peace, is cultivated, it stops the negative emotions from surfacing and paves the way for that original divine potential to flower from within. So when you give in to your fears and failures, you gradually fall in your own eyes. When you stand up in spite of your fears and failures, you grow in your own eyes. Now when you consistently keep growing in your own eyes, your self-belief strengthens, and no fear of failure can stop you from taking the next step. And after all, that's all it is all about, isn't it? Just to get up and take that one more step when you have fallen. When you begin to stand up for yourself, the world begins to stand up for you. When you begin to celebrate yourself, the world begins to celebrate you.